IGERT stands for Integrated Graduate Education and Research Traineeship. It is an NSF initiative that is meant to promote interdisciplinary training among graduate students. It's a traineeship rather than a fellowship, so the idea is you're given money to learn a new skill or promote some sort of skill set. In this case, our particular IGERT is on network science. It is meant to support this network science research program. So IGERT is the funding mechanism to launch the program, to get the program off the ground. All IGERTs in every university, they have some interdisciplinary aspect to them. In our case, it is 7 departments coming together to study this broad thing called network science and big data. At UCSB, our 7 departments are computer science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, ecology, evolution and marine biology, EEMB, sociology, communication, and geography. And each one of these different disciplines deals with some aspect of big data, large networks, and how to manipulate the data in an efficient manner. There's 2 ways a student can get involved in IGERT. One is as an incoming first-year graduate student. And if that's the case, you jump into this traineeship and you receive funding from the National Science Foundation for 2 full years at $30,000 a year plus full payment of all fees and tuition and health insurance. Because it comes from the National Science Foundation, it is only available to U.S. citizens and permanent residents. Non-residents can join the program and participate in the research and the programmatic activities, but they cannot receive that level of funding, the IGERT funding. The other way you can get involved, students can get involved in the IGERT program, is by jumping into our seminars. We hold weekly seminars, or some of our coursework. We have 2 foundational classes on network science, one in the fall and one in the winter. And we also have these team projects, lab rotations that we call network science modules. And anyone is welcome to become involved in those. This is our first year of running the IGERT program, so we are still setting up those modules and expanding on them and defining them. I think in future years we'll have a lot of these team projects up and running for computer science students, communication students, mechanical engineers, new graduate students to participate and to help define their future PhD work. The future of our IGERT program is to institutionalize this concept of network science research across those 7 partnering disciplines, hopefully more. It'd be wonderful if we could also bring in other molecular biology perhaps, and physics, and environmental science, other disciplines that deal with big data. But in the short term, the idea is to, again, institutionalize this idea that a graduate student can come in here and work on some sort of aspect of network science research. So it would be wonderful if somebody were to come into the computer science department, a first-year grad student, so a first-year grad student would come in with this idea of wanting to study some element of gene networks, right, and mapping gene networks. So we would give him not only the programming tools necessary to manipulate big data, but also the experience with gene networks or brain networks or some other kind of network that a student normally wouldn't have access to in the computer science department. Or the flip side of that is true. It would be great if we had a biologist come in here and want to learn how to manipulate this large data set, but that biologist might have very little or no programming skills. So he or she could participate in such a program as ours and develop those skills. Separate from becoming a computer scientist, his programming would be specific to the idea of dealing with networks. The same would be true of a sociology student or a communication student. Social networks are huge right now. They're just growing as the data to store the information online becomes more affordable and better, you're going to see their social networks grow. And somebody's going to need to study them and study maybe the qualitative aspects of social networks. All of the information on our particular IGERT program is online. That's networkscience.igert.ucsb.edu. More general information about IGERT programs can be found at igert.org. It is a central location for all of the IGERTs across the country.